Below is part 1 of 4, approximately equals 1,000 words. It is straight script paragraphs only. No headlines inside the script, written for direct text-to-speech. When you say, continue, I'll send part 2 immediately, then parts 3 and 4 that you probably think the Arctic is empty. Just ice, wind, and silence. But that idea is wrong, very wrong. Hidden inside the coldest places on Earth are machines so extreme, so strange, and so powerful that most people don't even know they exist. Imagine driving where temperatures drop below -50 degrees, where roads don't exist, where one mistake means you're stranded in the middle of nowhere with nothing but ice in every direction. This is where military expedition trucks come in. These aren't normal vehicles. They're survival machines. Built not for comfort, not for style, but for one mission only: keep moving no matter what. And today, you're about to see 10 of the most insane military expedition trucks ever sent into the Arctic. Some look like tanks, some float, some bend in half just to survive. And one of them is so extreme it makes everything else look small. Stick with me, because once you see what number 1 can do, you'll never look at trucks the same way again. Let's start in Sweden, a country that knows cold better than most. Picture deep snow, frozen swamps, and thin ice that would swallow a normal truck instantly. That's where the Bandvagn 206 was born. At first glance, it looks almost simple. 2 boxy sections connected by a joint, riding on wide rubber tracks. But this design changed everything. The BV206 was built in the late 1970s to go where wheels fail. Instead of fighting the snow, it floats over it. The secret is weight distribution. Its wide tracks spread the load so evenly that it can cross deep snow, marshes, and even fragile ice without sinking. You could drive this thing straight across terrain that looks impossible. It's powered by a modest gasoline engine, but power isn't the point here. Control is. The articulated joint lets the front and rear sections twist independently. So when the front climbs an obstacle, the rear follows smoothly. Soldiers trusted it. Rescue teams relied on it. Scientists used it to reach places no one else could. Even today, versions of this vehicle still operate in polar regions. And if you think that's impressive, the next one took this idea and pushed it into the modern age. Now imagine the BV206. But stronger, faster, and built for modern warfare. That's exactly what the BVS-10 Beowulf is. This is the evolved form of Arctic survival on tracks. Built by BAE Systems in Sweden, the Beowulf was designed for extreme cold operations where failure is not an option. It looks similar to its predecessor, but everything about it is tougher. More power, more payload, better protection. Inside, crews stay warm, even when the outside world feels deadly. This vehicle doesn't just move troops, it carries entire missions. It can haul supplies, evacuate wounded soldiers, or push deep into frozen territory for days at a time. What really sets it apart is reliability. During Arctic trials, it proved it could keep running where other vehicles froze, cracked, or simply gave up. That's why militaries around the world started paying attention. In fact, after brutal cold weather testing, even the United States selected it for Arctic operations. And here's the thing. This machine isn't loud about what it can do. It just keeps moving, quietly, relentlessly. But wheels haven't been left behind yet. Because Finland had its own answer to Arctic mobility. When you see the Patria 6x6, it looks like a traditional armored truck. Big, boxy, serious. But don't let that fool you. This thing was designed from the ground up to survive Nordic winters, frozen forests, icy roads, endless snow. The Patria 6x6 combines speed with durability, which is rare in Arctic vehicles. It doesn't crawl, it moves with confidence. 6 driven wheels push it forward while advanced suspension keeps it stable on uneven frozen ground. Inside, the crew is protected from both the cold and potential threats. What makes this vehicle special is balance. It's not just strong, it's practical. Easy to maintain, easy to adapt. One day it's carrying soldiers. The next day it's a mobile command center or a medical evacuation unit. During Arctic exercises, it proved it could operate non-stop for days without needing constant repairs. And that matters when help is hundreds of miles away. But while Western Europe focused on balance and efficiency, Russia took a very different approach. Deep in Siberia, where winter feels endless, Russian engineers built something far more aggressive. The Hishnik 6x6. Its name means predator, and that's not just for show. This truck was made to hunt through snow, ice, and frozen wilderness. Big tires, massive clearance. A body built to survive punishment. The Hishnik doesn't rush. It pushes forward with raw torque, crawling over terrain that would trap most vehicles instantly. Low-pressure tires let it float over snow instead of digging in. The cabin is heated, sealed, and designed for long journeys through absolute isolation. This isn't a vehicle you drive for fun. This is a vehicle you depend on with your life. Oil crews, rescue teams, and military units all rely on it to reach places that maps barely cover. During long Arctic expeditions, the Hishnik proved it could operate for weeks without serious mechanical failure. And when you're hundreds of miles from the nearest road, that kind of reliability becomes priceless. But the next machine on our list wasn't built for oil or supplies. It was built for space. Back in the Cold War, the Soviet Union had a problem. When spacecraft returned to Earth, they didn't always land where planned. Sometimes they came down in frozen wilderness. And when that happened, cosmonauts needed to be rescued fast. That's where the ZIL 4906 comes in. This massive amphibious truck looks like something from a sci-fi movie. 6 huge wheels, a raised cap, a body designed to carry both people and space capsules. It could drive through snow, mud, ice, and even water. Yes, water. Frozen rivers didn't stop it. Thin ice didn't scare it. The ZIL 4906 was sent into the harshest environments imaginable to retrieve humans who had just fallen from space. And it worked. Over and over again. It wasn't comfortable. It wasn't pretty. But it was unstoppable. Even today, it stands as one of the most specialized Arctic vehicles ever built. And the story only gets stranger from here, because the next truck didn't just survive the Arctic. It turned it into a workplace. Asterisk, 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 if you think Arctic trucks are just about brute force. The next one is about endurance. Imagine driving for days with no roads, no fuel stations, and no outside help. Just snowstorms, frozen rivers, and white horizons that never end. That's the world of the TTM 4902 Rousac. This Russian-built expedition truck wasn't designed for short missions. It was built to live in the Arctic. Everything about it screams long-term survival. 6 massive wheels, ultra-wide low-pressure tires, and a body that looks more like a mobile base than a truck. When you see it, you don't think transport. You think shelter. Inside, crews stay warm while outside temperatures drop to levels that can kill exposed skin in minutes. The engine focuses on torque, not speed, because out here, moving slowly is better than not moving at all. This vehicle has carried fuel, food, medical equipment, and entire teams across regions where helicopters can't fly and planes can't land. In one Arctic supply run, multiple vehicles failed along the route, but the Rousac kept going. That's why it earned a reputation as one of the most dependable Arctic workhorses ever built. But if 6 wheels impressed you, the next one adds 2 more and changes the rules completely. Now picture a vehicle that looks like it's floating even when it's on land. That's the Arctic 8x8 from Russian builders who understand one thing very well. Snow doesn't care about horsepower. It cares about pressure. This vehicle spreads its weight so evenly across 8 giant tires that it can glide over snowfields and thin ice that would crack under normal trucks. It's slow, yes, but unstoppable. This is the kind of machine that rescue teams send when everything else fails. It can cross frozen lakes, deep bogs, and flooded tundra without switching vehicles. And here's the wild part. It doesn't panic when conditions change. Snow turns to water, it floats, ice breaks, it keeps moving. The body is sealed, buoyant, and designed for total isolation. Inside, passengers are protected from wind, moisture, and extreme cold. This truck has evacuated stranded villagers, transported scientists, and supported military patrols in areas where maps are outdated and GPS signals are unreliable. When weather shuts the Arctic down, this vehicle doesn't stop. It becomes the only thing still moving. But if that feels rugged, wait until you see something that looks like it came from the future. The Rousac 8x8 doesn't look like a traditional truck at all. It looks like a machine from another planet. Smooth lines, raised body, massive wheels tucked underneath a futuristic shell. But don't let the design fool you. This vehicle was built for survival, not style. It combines modern materials with brutal Arctic functionality. Lightweight construction keeps it from sinking. Independent suspension on every wheel keeps it stable on broken ice and uneven snow. It can crawl through frozen forests, cross shallow water, and push forward during blizzards when visibility drops to nothing. Inside, the cabin feels more like a command center than a transport vehicle. Heated, insulated, quiet compared to older machines. This is the Arctic vehicle for long missions where crew fatigue matters. Russian patrol units and research teams have used it to reach deep Arctic zones without external support. During one expedition, the Rousac completed a route that forced other vehicles to turn back. No towing, no repairs. Just steady forward movement through chaos. And yet, even with all this innovation, it still can't compete with raw American muscle. When the United States military builds a vehicle, it builds it big. And the Oshkosh MK48 is proof of that mindset. This isn't just a truck, it's a rolling logistics system. Designed in the 1980s, the MK48 was created to haul massive loads through environments where roads don't exist. Its articulated design allows it to bend in the middle, letting it crawl over uneven terrain while carrying ridiculous amounts of cargo. Fuel tanks, containers, heavy equipment, you name it. While it's known for desert and battlefield use, it has also proven itself in cold regions. Deep snow doesn't stop it, ice doesn't intimidate it. Its massive engine delivers power in a controlled way, allowing it to move heavy loads without spinning out on frozen ground. Each axle is driven, each wheel works. That means traction almost everywhere. During Arctic training exercises, the MK48 demonstrated something few vehicles can: speed and control at the same time. It doesn't just survive harsh conditions, it dominates them. But even this giant has a limit, because the final vehicle on our list doesn't use wheels at all. Imagine a machine so large it feels more like a moving building than a vehicle. Two massive sections connected by a joint, riding on enormous tracks instead of tires. This is the Vityaz DT-30PM, and calling it a truck almost feels wrong. This thing is a land ship, built to operate in places where nothing else can move. The DT-30PM was designed to carry extreme loads across soft snow, frozen swamps, and unstable ice. Its tracks spread its weight so efficiently that it can cross terrain that would swallow wheeled vehicles whole. Under the hood is an engine so large it feels unreal. A power plant built to move tens of tons through environments that actively fight back. This vehicle has transported missile systems, radar stations, and entire buildings across the Arctic. Let that sink in. Entire buildings. It's amphibious too, meaning frozen rivers and open water aren't barriers. The DT-30PM simply drives in and keeps going. Inside, the crew operates in relative comfort while the outside world sits at lethal temperatures. This isn't just engineering. This is over-engineering on purpose. And it works. There's even a story that one wealthy Russian turned this machine into a private Arctic mansion. Heated living space, power generation, even a bathroom. All built inside a vehicle designed to conquer the most unforgiving terrain on Earth. That tells you everything you need to know about its capability. When humans want to exist where they don't belong, this is what they build. By now, you've seen machines that float, bend, crawl, and crush their way through the Arctic. Each one built for a specific purpose. Each one carrying stories of survival, rescue, and relentless movement through frozen nothingness. But here's the real takeaway. These vehicles aren't just metal and engines. They're lifelines. When weather kills communication, when planes can't fly, when people are trapped far from help, these machines become the difference between life and death. And that brings us to the final question. If you had to choose just one of these Arctic monsters to trust with your life, which would it be? The floating 8x8, the articulated track giant, or the relentless 6-wheeled predator? Think about it. Because the Arctic doesn't forgive mistakes. It only respects preparation. ****. By now, you're probably realizing something important. The Arctic doesn't care who you are. It doesn't care about rank, technology, or confidence. Out there, machines either work or they don't. And when they don't, people don't come home. That's why some of the most unusual military trucks ever built were designed specifically for this frozen world. And the deeper you go, the stranger and more extreme they become. Let's talk about something that completely breaks your expectations of a truck. Imagine a vehicle that doesn't rely on speed, doesn't rely on brute force, and barely even looks like it belongs on land. Enter the concept of ultra-low pressure tire vehicles. These machines almost feel alive when they move. Instead of digging into snow, they glide. Instead of fighting ice, they adapt to it. One such Arctic military transport was designed with tires so wide and soft that they deform around the terrain. When the ground changes, the tire shape changes with it. This allows the vehicle to cross snowfields that would trap armored vehicles instantly. Soldiers inside often describe the sensation as floating, and that's exactly the goal. In Arctic warfare and logistics, sinking is failure. One of these vehicles was deployed during extreme winter patrols where temperatures dropped low enough to freeze fuel lines solid. While other vehicles needed constant attention, this one kept rolling. Its systems were simplified on purpose. Fewer electronics, more mechanical reliability. In the Arctic, complexity kills, simplicity survives. This philosophy is why some of the oldest-looking vehicles on this list are still in use today. They may not look impressive, but they work when nothing else does. Then there's the idea of articulation. Vehicles that bend in the middle. At first it sounds strange. Why would you want a truck that flexes like an animal? But in the Arctic, articulation is everything. When one part of the vehicle climbs over ice ridges or snowdrifts, the rest follows without losing traction. This keeps all wheels or tracks in contact with the ground. Military engineers learn this the hard way after watching rigid vehicles get stuck again and again. Articulated trucks solve that problem. They don't fight the terrain. They flow over it. Some articulated Arctic trucks have been used to transport radar systems to remote listening posts. Others carried fuel to forward bases that only exist for a few months each year. These missions don't make headlines, but they quietly support operations that would otherwise be impossible. Without these vehicles, entire regions would be unreachable for half the year. And here's something most people don't realize. Many Arctic expedition trucks are amphibious by necessity, not by luxury. Frozen rivers look solid until they're not. Ice breaks, water appears. And when that happens, a normal vehicle is finished. But amphibious Arctic trucks don't stop. They float, they paddle, they crawl out on the other side. This single feature has saved countless lives. During one rescue operation, a military convoy encountered a river that looked frozen from a distance. The lead vehicle broke through. Only the amphibious trucks could continue the mission. Everyone else turned back. Now let's shift focus to crew survival. Because in the Arctic, the vehicle isn't just transportation. It's shelter. Engines are often kept running for days to prevent freezing. Cabins are insulated like submarines. Heating systems are redundant. If one fails, another takes over. Some vehicles even route engine heat through the cabin walls to prevent ice buildup. This isn't comfort. This is survival engineering. Military crews have reported sleeping inside these vehicles while blizzards rage outside, completely cut off from the world. No radio, no visibility, just wind screaming across endless ice. In those moments, the truck becomes home, hospital, fortress, everything. That's why Arctic vehicles are built with psychological endurance in mind. Light, space, noise reduction. Small details that matter when you're trapped inside metal for days. And then there's maintenance. Or rather, the lack of it. In the Arctic, you don't stop to fix things. You keep moving. Vehicles are built so critical components are accessible even with gloves on. Fluids are chosen to resist freezing. Rubber parts are replaced with materials that won't crack in extreme cold. Even bolts are selected based on how they behave at -40 degrees. This level of detail separates successful Arctic machines from failures. Some of the trucks on this list have been operating for decades. Not because they're modern, but because they're dependable. Militaries often prefer an older vehicle that works over a newer one that doesn't. In Arctic conditions, trust is everything. If a vehicle fails once, it may never be used again. What's fascinating is how different countries approach the same problem in different ways. Scandinavian designs focus on efficiency and balance. Russian vehicles emphasize brute survival and endurance. American designs lean toward power and payload. All of them work, but each reflects the environment and doctrine they were built for. And now, as climate change opens new Arctic routes, these vehicles are becoming more important than ever. New shipping lanes, new military interests, new research stations. The Arctic is no longer empty, and the machines that can operate there will shape its future. You might think these vehicles are relics of the Cold War, but many are still being upgraded, modernized, and redeployed. New engines, better insulation, advanced navigation systems. But the core designs remain the same: wide tracks, articulated frames, low-pressure tires, because physics hasn't changed. Snow is still snow. Ice is still ice. As we approach the final part of this journey, one thing becomes clear. These trucks aren't about dominance. They're about respect. Respect for an environment that can kill without warning. And the engineers who built them understood that better than anyone. In the final part, we're going to bring everything together. The legacy of these machines, why they matter now more than ever, and which one truly deserves the title of the most insane military expedition truck ever sent into the Arctic.